Yeah, man, it's the 31st of May, 2022. It's Kevin Christian, and I want to talk about in this video how you can get your neural monitoring. So, if you don't understand exactly what the neural monitoring is, um, you probably should watch some other videos that I have out previously. But if you kind of do understand what neural monitoring is now and you've been targeted for a while, um, I'm going to give you a way that I know that some of you guys will be able to get your neural monitoring and stop the torture and the gang stalking, eliminate it out of your life, and get your neural monitoring and make your life a whole lot better, protect yourself, protect your family. Okay. Um, First of all, some of you guys are going to be off the radar, kind of, because um, you may have been getting gang stalked or have some people on your neural monitoring, and then they became bored with you or found somebody else that they'd rather be connected to and be on their channel. So they decided to leave you alone. So some of you guys may not be uh, under the same scrutiny that I am, or that some of us are. So um, every day, all day, I got at least four guys on my neural monitoring on my channel. They talk with broadcast telepathy. They attack me. They attack my body. They've been attacking me very violently all day, and this is the consequence: is me to come out with videos like this all the time because they're doing these things to me, and I know how this stuff works. So let me just give you the rundown, okay? This is going to revolve this action you could take is going to revolve around learning some stuff, and it's not going to be something you can do in a day, probably not a week or even a month. Probably, if you really get on your game, you could probably do this in a few months. Um, at least a year, you would be able to do this for sure if you focus and dedicate yourself to this. Okay, and that sounds like a lot, but in reality, you're going to have freedom and your neural monitoring for the rest of your life. And in my case, these guys have been on my channel for a decade, 10 years, or like 9 years and something. So to take the steps to start the process to get out of this and to solve your problems in a year or less, that's that's nothing. Okay, that's definitely something that you should be doing, and it's something that I'm working on too, in many different ways. Um, but like I said, I have a lot of resistance from them, and if I make it very far, they'll just destroy my property. They'll just destroy my devices, hack my everything. It's always a problem. Everything's a problem. All right, so let's get into it. Here's what you will need. Okay, um, Android phone. If you have an Android phone, which most people have Android phones, so that's probably not a problem. Or if you've had one in the past, if you've had one in the past, it's even better. Don't even turn it on, okay? Just have it for now, okay? Because if you've been gang stalked and you're having gang stalkers do this stuff to you with remote neural monitoring and artificial telepathy and all that stuff, neural monitoring is on your Android phone, okay? It's on your Apple phones too, but I just don't really know how to go about that process just yet. But this process that I'm going to tell you is a definite thing, okay? But you may run into some resistance, so I'm going to kind of talk about that. So you're going to need an Android phone if you have an Android phone. If you just have one and you use it every day, then just keep using it and do your thing. But if you have an older one that you don't use anymore, don't start using it and turn it on. But that's the golden ticket right there, okay? Because the one you're on now, they can get rid of it. All right, they can get rid of anything that's on it because you use it every day, and they're on it too. So if you start to become skilled on that level, they'll get rid of it. All right, so um, you're gonna need a laptop. All right, and you could get a if you don't have one, you need one anyway. All right, and you could get um, a Windows laptop at Walmart for like $150. That'll work. Okay. always the better, the better. But you can get one. You can get a used one as long as you get one. Okay. And at that point, you need to start to study Android developer. Okay. So you go on developer.android.com or androiddeveloper.com, whichever one it is, I forget. And then just start from the beginning. And that's the only way it's going to work. If you start from the beginning, you're going to have to go in and start, take courses. It's all free and it's going to help you learn some things. And so they have these things called code labs. And so you start to learn from the beginning, the very basic stuff. And, they teach you this stuff as if you don't know anything, and you probably don't. So it's probably the best way. And you're going to want to start from the beginning. Now, after about the second or third code lab, they're going to have you get a program called Android Studio. Android Studio is how you write applications and do all the programming stuff for anything to do with Android. So that's what you want anyway, right? So there's an application called DevTools Pro or DevTools. I bought the Pro version. It was like $2.50, I think, or $3.50 or something like that off of the Play Store. And that app can help you a lot. And I'll tell you why. So as you're developing these skills, you're gonna need to understand some things, okay? People that have neural monitoring, including gang stalkers that are using your neural monitoring on your devices, and they put it there, okay? They integrated it into that, all right? So one of the ways that they hide neural monitoring is on virtual machines, and a virtual machine still needs a hardware machine. When I say machine, I mean a phone, a laptop, an iPad, a desktop, any type of computer, and a phone and an iPad are computers. So any type of computer can be a host for a virtual machine. And a virtual machine is just a virtual, like if you when you get on Android Studio, you'll see what I mean. You can launch a virtual device to test run applications and things like that you're working with on Android Studio. So you don't have to use a physical device. You can use a physical device too, but you'll get into all of that later. Okay, so all this stuff is very important. The virtual device is one of the ways that gang stalkers hide neural monitoring stuff, and it's very common for somebody who is gang stalking you with remote neural monitoring and broadcast stuff to have a virtual machine on your device that they use as their device. While they're broadcast, they're using that virtual machine as their device hosted on your device. Okay, at that point, your device is their device because they're administrating everything and you're a user at that point and they're the administrator. So basically you got two devices on one hardware. You got their virtual device and then you got your software version, which is your device. But they're both just a software version and a software version. Okay, like Android 10 or whatever they're on. Android software that is your phone and your operating system and all your apps and your interface hosted on the hardware, which is the physical device. And then they have the same thing. A virtual device is the same thing. It's just a version of hardware, a version of software that needs a hardware to be hosted on. Okay, so it's very common for them to have a virtual machine hosted on your devices, on any or all of your devices. It is also very common for them to use applications to hide neural monitoring. And that's where understanding Android developer stuff and how to use Android Studio and how to use DevTools Pro, the application for Android devices. That's where those things become useful because like I've seen where a gang stalker will have neural monitoring integrated into an application. It was a Facebook app that I saw personally. I saw this with my own eyes. I saw them go into Facebook, go into the weather app within Facebook, and then they did like this screen maneuver. It went into this spinning code thing, and they stopped it, and it went into some neural monitoring stuff. And from there, they started working with different settings and stuff like that. So that means that they've taken a Facebook application, which if you have an app, all right, you also can have the what do they call it? It's a package, okay? The package that you can download, that is, it's an installation package. I'm sorry, it's slipping my mind right now, but the APK, okay? It's an Android application installation package, and it's called an APK file. All right, and all when you go to the App Store or the Play Store, I mean, and you download an application, you're just downloading the APK and it's installing it for you, and it's all bundled together, okay, and it installs it for you. But if you get the APK file, and you can get those, you can get APK files of applications, and then it's just the file system. It's a decompiled application, okay, and it's got all the file systems and everything, and you can actually load those into Android Studio, and then you can go in and start to make alterations and kind of customize things to how you want to. And I don't know if that falls under open source or if that's something that's more like a pirate hacker type of thing, but it is what's going on. So now it comes down to the DevTools. Okay, the DevTools Pro, which is, or DevTools, either one, I think, that has a function on there. It has a feature where you can decompile an application. So if you have it on your Android phone, okay, you can go into it and say, I want to decompile Facebook. All right, and it'll decompile the Facebook application and give you the APK type of file, the folder full of folders, the file system for the application, okay, where you can go into it and see all of the different coding and the XML files and the, you know, that hold all of the strings and values or whatever, and then you can see the manifest files and all of it, okay? So if somebody has an application on your phone and it is altered to contain neural monitoring stuff, so they've modified it to be basically like their neural monitoring gang stalking app, it's got your neural monitoring on it. So if you can decompile that and get the file system, then you put it onto the computer and get into Android Studio or wherever, and you know what you're looking at because you've been studying Android developers. All right, so now you know what you're looking at. That's why you need to study this stuff and go through a lot of those code labs first. And in the first 2 or 3 code labs are for like Kotlin, and they're gonna show you like how to do basic little functions and how to run an app on the emulator, is what they call the virtual device. It's an Android virtual device. They call it an emulator, and it's going to show you how to run apps and stuff that you create in Android Studio on your physical device. It's going to show you how to install and run Android Studio and how to deal with Android Studio. And you just want to take some code labs and study this stuff for some months. If you want to go to school for it or whatever, that's cool too. But I mean, I've been in school for a little while now, and it's not something they've taught me yet, but I'm just been in some basic classes so far. I'm getting into program design and excuse me, database management, web development this semester coming up. So the decompiled file system that you can get using the dev tools off of your Android device, your decompiled apps. Those could very possibly, especially social media apps, they could very likely contain your neural monitoring. Okay, and so I don't know how you would get into it. And personally, when I try to do stuff like this, they will literally destroy $1,000 phone like that. They'll destroy my property, and they're because they need to hide it. They need to hide it. But that's what I was saying. If you're off the radar, this could be a really good thing. If they're not really gang stalking you and they've left you alone, maybe they're not paying attention, and you can just dive in and do this thing. And also, once you get into all of that, you need to know what you're looking at. So you definitely want to keep studying those code labs. On top of that, once you get deep into Android Studio and working with your Android device, you'll be able to go in there and download the whole device. Okay, not when you have a virtual machine on you that a gang stalker put on your device, and you go in and you try to download the whole device. You can't get everything. But when you use Android Studio and you know some more advanced techniques, you like back up all, like you can download the whole thing, and you can get that virtual machine too that is theirs. All right, and I've found a whole lot of stuff, and each time I start to get into it, they'll just delete my files or corrupt something or crash the device. And I got a bunch of devices, and I got a bunch of old phones, and I'm studying this stuff really hard. And when I get to the point to where I don't think they can destroy my stuff or beat me at this game anymore, I probably got 10 devices with my neural monitoring on it and a whole bunch of other stuff. They hide stuff within files. That over the horizon MP3 that comes stock on Androids, or it used to, maybe it still does. It's like a 3 megabyte MP3, okay? And I've found that file modified where it's like 5 gigs, okay? And and I have all this stuff. So it's just really a matter of time before me or somebody that I've shown the way gets neural monitoring and then helps me. It's just a matter of time before I get this thing. And I don't know, I'm hoping to get some help. And I don't know why these guys are so dumb. And I think just being on mind control for so long, and they just don't think very clearly, and they never get off mind control. And they're always living as broadcasting in their mind and connected to other people. And I think it messes their brain up. And I think they really lose touch with reality. But I'll talk more about this, and as I get into completing more of these code labs and getting my Google badges and all that stuff, and it's just the little badges. It gives you badges, when you complete these code lab, and it just gives you kind of a incentive, a little motivation, and I like that, So it kind of makes me want to do it more. And even now, I got these guys broadcasting stuff in my eyes, my eyelids, and around my eyes. It feels burned. All right here, it feels sunburned because they just keep oozing broadcast waves over my face and all, in my eyes and in my mouth. It's a horrible form of torture. They're going to pay a very heavy price for being such idiots. This person that has my neural monitoring, that has collaborated in conspiracy to murder with these other people, they're all going to have a lot of problems. But Android, okay, is probably the best way to get into that kind of stuff and learn it quickly, and to get access in there and get your neural monitoring. That's what I believe. I believe that learning about Android stuff and computer programming in general and network stuff, all of that is going to help you get neural monitoring. But over the next however long, while I'm going to school and learning about all of this stuff, I'm going to talk about it a lot more. And again, this video was brought to you courtesy of my gang stalkers who were too stupid to get out of this situation, as they just dig deeper and deeper, and it's whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. So this is a good way to try to get neural monitoring. Thanks for watching.